welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to be covering Nellie's story. So we are covering Samantha's. This is her. Obviously, we have Miss Samantha Parkington right here. This is her best friend. This is the Nellie doll. So they did make some of the friend dolls. Nellie is one of them. This was her friend that we met in the original stories, whose parents were Irish immigrants and came over. And at the end of her last story, Nellie and her sisters Bridget and Jenny came to live with Samantha's family. So in this story, it's not too long thereafter, after the end of the last book. So Nellie is struggling at Samantha's school because she does not fit in. She does not feel like she's doing practical stuff. They're doing these weird dances that don't make any sense. And she's not happy there. And on their way, and she doesn't know how to explain this to Samantha because she feels ungrateful. And so she, on her way home one day, I don't think whether she's waiting for Samantha or something. No, she's doing something. She's picking up something for Cornelia. Her uncle finds her. Now remember, at the end of the stories, her uncle had abandoned Nellie, Bridget, and Jenny in his apartment and taken everything, and he disappeared. And so he wants Nellie. As far as he's concerned, he owns them, and she's able to get away from him, but she feels guilty. She doesn't want to tell. She's afraid of what's going to happen, and she doesn't want to tell anybody, but she becomes kind of distant and kind of sad. And then Samantha, Nellie talks about the place where, what was it, tenement or something. It was what we would consider almost a community center or a immigrant center where Nellie and her family got help, and where Nellie would frequently where people take classes and learning English and all sorts of practical skills. And Samantha convinces her, because Cornelia, being who she is, newfangled woman, wants to help people, convinces Nellie to take them to the one that she went to. And they go. Samantha ends up reading to the small children. Cornelia walks around. Cornelia wants to go, but Samantha chooses not to. Samantha becomes very kind of distant and sad. And Nellie thinks she's mad at her. And there's a bunch kind of misunderstandings. And Nellie's hiding the fact that she run into her uncle and she's trying to avoid them. So as the story kind of goes on, eventually different things they're trying to figure out what's going on. Samantha didn't hate the tenement. She was angry and sad because she couldn't rescue all the children. So that's what she eventually tells Nellie. Nellie eventually tells Samantha about her uncle. They go downstairs to tell her Uncle Guard, who is a lawyer, and the uncle's in the parlor because her aunt and uncle have been trying to find him so they could get custody of the girls. And they're trying to make him sign paperwork, which he eventually does without extorting money, which is what he wants to do. But Nellie threatens him. She says, like, how would the Children's Services feel if they knew you abandoned me and my sisters by ourselves in the freezing with no money, and you took everything from us? So he gets pissed off. He signs what amounts to be relinquishing his rights papers to the girls and storms off. And then Nellie explains that she doesn't like school she's going to with Samantha, and she kind of wanted to go to Boston, which is a school where the woman who would run the tenement, the community center where she had got help with, went to learn to be a teacher. But Samantha's upset. She doesn't want Nellie to leave, and Nellie kind of feels like a burden. But Cornelia says, like, let's talk to this woman about finding you a better school here in New York, which is what they do. So Samantha and Nellie end up going to different schools, but they're all still living together and they're still a family. So that is Nellie's story. And So it's very kind of interesting. It does talk a little bit about adoption at the end of the book. It What happened with Nellie and her sisters would be extremely uncommon. Mostly families took care of themselves and you did not cross social lines. But it's still a fun story. And it may have happened. I mean, it wouldn't have been common, but it may have happened. So that is the end of this video. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. We will continuing on with more stories about Samantha and Nellie. Thank you.